Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a big Pyraminx comparison. So in front of me I have basically every Pyraminx on the market, with the exception of a few, but if I don't have it, it's probably not that good. So we're just going to start with the oldest. This is the QJ Pyraminx. It is pretty terrible. I would not really recommend it. Don't buy it. Okay. Next, this is the Shengshou Pyraminx. Now, at the time, this was definitely the best Pyraminx, especially when modded, like mine. But right now, there are some better things, so I wouldn't really recommend this one either. Here we have the Fangjin Pyraminx. Very similar to the Shengshou, very locky. Again, wouldn't recommend. This is the Diansheng Pyraminx, way too clicky. This is the Kong's Design Pyraminx. It's okay. Again, it's really clicky. I would say it's not quite as clicky as the Diansheng, but it's pretty clicky. But yeah, and here we have the Shengshou Aurora. This is actually a really nice Pyraminx. It's very slow, but it's nice and controllable. The tips are pretty slow as well, and it is a little clickier than some Pyraminxes, but it's not super clicky like these two. I think this is a really good Pyraminx for, people who just like really controllable cubes, or for a beginner, I think this would be a really good Pyraminx to start with. Here's the Dian Pyraminx. It's okay, it's pretty slow, and then popping is a big problem on this. I think with a lot of setting up, people have said that this can get pretty good. The tips are very nice on this cube, actually. They're pretty fast, and they have a little click, but overall, I wouldn't really recommend this cube just because popping, and it just doesn't turn the best. And here we have the newer Dian Pyraminx. It's very scratchy, but I would say the turning is a little bit better. The tips on this are weird. They're very fast, but also have a huge click. And it has these ridges, which is nice, but the turning isn't too great. But it doesn't pop, so it did fix a lot of the problems of the old Dian Pyraminx, which is good. Now we have the Moyu Pyraminx. This was, like most other people, my main for a really long time. It just turns really smoothly, and the tips are pretty good. I have had some +2 problems with them, because just sometimes they don't really turn. But otherwise, this is a really good Pyraminx. Here we have the Moyu Magnetic Pyraminx. This is kind of a newer magnetized version of the old Moyu Pyraminx. The turning on this cube is amazing. It's really fast, and the magnets keep it nice and stable. The tips on this cube are also nicer. They're a little bit faster, so I don't find myself +2ing or not. So this is a really good Pyraminx. So next up, this is the Chi Pyraminx. With some setting up and possibly removing some of the ball bearings, this cube can be pretty good. I haven't really done much to mine. It's very clicky and kind of slow, but a lot of people still did like this cube, but I was never really a fan of it. Here we have the new Chi Pyraminx. This cube turns very nicely. It's a lot faster and a lot less clicky than the first version, so it's a lot nicer to turn, and I really like the tips on this cube. They're very clicky, but also very fast, and they're just kind of hard to turn, which is a problem. Like sometimes you go to flick it and it doesn't really turn, which could be a potential problem, but I think it's pretty hard to +2 on this cube, which is nice. And yeah, I really like the feeling on this cube. It turns really nicely. And the last Pyraminx I'm going to be going over is the X-Man Magnetic Pyraminx. So this magnetic Pyraminx has a very different feel than the Moyu Magnetic Pyraminx. The Moyu Magnetic Pyraminx has a more subtle click, but the X-Man has a harder click. It's also a lot faster. So personally, I'm not really a fan because it's kind of uncontrollably fast for me. But a lot of people do like really fast cubes, and I think this would be good for you. The tips on this cube are nice. They're pretty crazy. If you see, like, they go back if they're almost halfway. They'll go back into place, and obviously this doesn't prevent +2s, but it does make them a little easier to turn, and they do turn very nicely. They're very fast, and they have a really strong click. So this cube isn't really for me, but for people who do like fast cubes, I think this would be a really good one. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've narrowed it down to my 5 favorite Pyraminxes out of all of them. So in my opinion, these are the 5 best, and I'll leave a link to buy all of these in the description. So basically what I'm going to do right now is just go a little bit more in depth to help you try to decide which one is the right one for you. So here we have the Shengshao Aurora Pyraminx. Definitely an improvement from the Shengshao. It has a little bit more corner cutting. This cube, in my opinion, is really a good cube for beginners. It's very slow and controllable, but it doesn't have too much click like, the Kong's design. The tips are also very good for beginners because they're very slow, so it wouldn't be as good for me, but it would prevent accidentally turning a tip while you're solving, which I think would be good for people who are just starting out. Here we have the Moyu Pyraminx. Obviously, this is a really good Pyraminx. Personally, I think the Moyu Magnetic Pyraminx is a little bit better because the magnets add some stability and allow the cube to be a little bit faster while still being stable. But if for some reason you don't like magnets, this could be a good one. But really, I think that the Moyu Magnetic Pyraminx is better. The tips are also a lot better. The tips on the old Moyu Pyraminx are a little hard to turn. Sometimes I would +2. But these tips don't really have any click at all. They are a little bit slowed down, and I don't find I get many +2 problems on this cube. But the turning is just so nice. It's really fast and super smooth. And yeah, the magnets add a really nice level of stability. So here we have the Chi Pyraminx. I forget the exact name of this one, but again, I'll have a link in the description. It's a newer version of the Chi, and I definitely think it's an improvement from the old Chi. It's a lot faster and it's a lot less clicky, but it still has enough click to keep it in place. And I really like the tips. They're very clicky, but also very fast. So if you like tips like that rather than tips that kind of don't click at all, I think this would be a good choice for you. But it's very light, and it has kind of that like light, airy feel when you're turning it. And the last one is the X-Man Magnetic Pyraminx. So it's very fast, and the magnets, it does have a very strong click. For me, this cube is a little bit too fast. It's kind of uncontrollable. But some people do like really fast Pyraminxes, and I think this would be a really good choice for you if you do. And again, as I said earlier, the tips on this one are really clicky as well. So if you like, very strong magnets and fast cubes, I think this would be perfect for you. So for me, I do prefer the Moyu Magnetic Pyraminx because it's just very smooth. It has a perfect amount of click, and it just turns very easily, and I like the tips. But any of these could be right for you, so thanks so much for watching. Like I said earlier, you can buy all of these in links that I'll put in the description. Bye!